not making enough shots?
Yeah, and no. Um, let's see. So first quarter made some shots. 8 assists on 9 made baskets in the first quarter. Second quarter, obviously, like it's no secret. Like we can't play in a half court. Like we have so many deficiencies in a half court, and we're constantly trying to manufacture buckets, right? Like we just. And so when you have to work so hard to run a set or execute, and you miss it, it's like, damn, right? Like it's really deflating. So when we're fouling in the second quarter and they're living at the free throw line, we can't push in transition. And then in the second half, so Abby hits a 3 to start, right? They turn the ball over twice. Mads misses a 3. We get a illegal screen. Sure. Then we get another clean look, miss it. Caitlin gets a layup, miss it. So we started the third quarter 1 for 9, and at that time, this is like kind of a microcosm of like our entire season. We miss shots. We make a defensive mistake in transition. Number 2 hits a corner 3. We come down, we miss a shot. We come down, we make a defensive mistake. We go under on number 2. She hits another 3 at the top of the key. Like, you know, like when you miss shots, you've got to be a little bit grittier on the other end to figure it out. And that's not been who we are, and it's the way you have to be, right? Because you can compete and play hard and be locked in. And I think that's the thing that we struggle with the most. You said simple, and I'm still talking. The lack of just like mental focus, right? It's not the missing shots. Like you can get, like I'm not mad that we miss shots. Like yeah, that sucks. Like missing open shots and missing layups. I mean, how many layups did we miss in the first quarter when the lead could have been 30 to 12 or whatever it was in the first quarter just by missing layups. Our inability to change a ball screen coverage multiple times, our inability to switch guard to guard action, our inability to make adjustments as the game went on today, just wasn't very good.
Well, the follow-up for me would have been
Simple.
You kind of answered it. It's like, did those missed shots then affect other areas of your game?
Absolutely. Like it's. I mean, but yeah, it did. It did. It shouldn't, but it did.
This is the difficulty of keeping Murkowski under control tonight, and just how she kind of dominated the lane and dominated the rebound, which then prevented transition opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, they pounded us on the board, and that's been who Nebraska has been, right? They pound teams on the board. I'm not so sure how many of her 7 offensive rebounds were her own misses, but it seemed like every time she got it and missed it, like she scored it right away, right? Like if she got a rebound, we didn't box her out. And on top, like I don't look at Alexis as a dirty player. Like I think that was just like the nature of the game. So I hope that goes without saying. I don't think that's who that kid is at all. Yeah, we want to take away her left shoulder. I think she made 1 right shoulder bucket. Everything else was to her left shoulder. So just lack of focus, lack of attention to detail, trying to take away her left shoulder. Now, give the kid credit. She did make some tough shots inside. She's a load in there just because she is very skilled.
And is it just a little bit frustrating on a night you have 7 turnovers that you don't have the offensive efficiency that you would need to get this game?
To only turn the ball over 7 times. We take 3 more shots than they do. The second quarter fouling when they lived at the free throw line. Let's see. I mean, as bad as I think we were for 30 minutes, if we make a couple open shots, maybe the game's different. But it's not. Nebraska won it. They made their shots. They made their open shots. We didn't.
Katie, kind of going off of, I think earlier this season you talked about you had to be patient with these younger kids. And I guess now being 11 and 14 or whatever it is, a person that, you're not used to losing as a player, as a coach.
Sucks.
I'm sure, it's been a struggle this year. How have you kind of preached patience to the coaching staff as well?
I think they're preaching it to me. I think everybody has been preaching it to me, not the other way around. Yeah, like we want to win, and it just hasn't translated to wins this year, unfortunately. And MA had 18 or 16, whatever it was she finished with. But honestly, a tough kid, right, that comes in, probably breaks her nose again. I don't know if it's broken or not. Like, we'll probably have to go look at it again. Just defensive mistakes. Same with Rashonda, same with Sophie. Still learning. And yeah, I guess Abby, Madison, JT, they make defensive mistakes too. But like, their leash is just a little bit longer in their ability to make those mistakes. But I'll tell you what, like, those kids have been in the gym. Spider and MA, we got to work out in the other day. M lives in the gym. Elena works her tail off. Like, those kids are working. But yeah, like we can talk about like years from now, or 2-3 years from now. But like, we're all trying to live here in the moment and try to win basketball games for Purdue right now.
Did you feel like, especially after that first quarter, I guess, that with the way Illinois went, maybe not Indiana so much, but then the way you beat Northwestern, maybe this team had turned a little bit of a corner here?
Yeah, we played really well at Northwestern. We pushed tempo the entire game. We didn't foul in the second quarter, and the game didn't stall. So that helped us get out and transition. And the difference was, like, Northwestern missed some open shots today. When Nebraska got them, they didn't miss them.
Coach, throughout several matches this season, runs have been kind of a trend, as in, like, Northwestern, I believe it was 25 unanswered points.
Mm-hmm.
The first matchup against IU, there was a couple 7-0, 10-0 runs there. How does kind of managing that momentum in a sport like basketball, where tempo is just so crucial and important, how does managing that momentum affect the team, and how do you balance that with this kind of slow churning offensive style where you're working your way to the open looks, whether they fall or not?
Yeah. For us, when we go on those runs is when we get defensive stops and we can go in transition, and we don't have to run a set. We don't have to manufacture a look at So at Northwestern during that run, I'm telling you, that ball popped and moved. We had 24 assists on 29 turnovers or whatever it was, or 29 shots. Today 16 on 22, we just missed some open shots. The game is a game of runs, and you want to make yours as long as possible and try to stop theirs. And today, I don't know what their longest run was. I feel like they made 12. They made a couple runs where you try to call timeout and stop the bleeding, but they come out and they made open shots out of timeouts, and we missed some opportunities, but. I think in all of sports, right, when you have momentum, you try to ride it as much as you can. And today, they were able to kind of take the wind out of our sails, and we were not able to do the same.